Hello, and welcome to Grove of the Gods. I'm Morgan Hornman, your host, and we'll hopefully, okay, as normal, everything has a side thing with me and everything kind of goes wacky, but I'm sure it's all going well. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. My name is Morgan Hornman. I am the host of Grove of the Gods, and I'm going to do those live stream things real quick and make sure that everything gets shared over on the webs. So we're going to go live. We'll hit that. I just want to make sure everything's working right. Oh, this could be bad. There we go. All right. So we're live, and thank you very much for joining us. Tonight is about talking about where we've been, where we're going, what's going on, and I'm really glad you joined. I'm getting used to a brand new platform so we can do our interviews a lot better and a lot more reliably. And so bear with me while I have a learning curve. And there we go. So first off, we are on YouTube and Facebook as Grove of the Gods. And this is how we share our information. What we are is we're a pagan information show. We provide information about holidays, about the way pagans worship, as well as we have a series called Pagan Voices that is, there we go. And Pagan Voices is our show where we do interviews with pagans from across the United States, and we ask about who they are, what they enjoy, what they're working on doing, how do they worship, how did they get where they are, and then learn about any special causes or events that they're trying to promote, anything they're trying to do to bring light into the world and how they live their life. Their faith, their authors, the things they use for rituals, all those things, because hey, we all use different things, but it's nice learning what other people use because there's always an opportunity to improve our own practice and incorporate things that work well for others into what we do. So far we've had 7 interviews and they've been amazing, and it's been a lot of fun. We've done 6 on video and 1 on site. And if you're interested in being a guest on Grove of the Gods, please contact me either through Grove of the Gods, or you can find me through Morgan Hornman. I have a show called The Morgan Hornman Show, self-descriptive. And on there, I talk about various parts of the spiritual path. But you can reach me through that site, as well as you can find me under Morgan Hornman on Facebook at my profile. But if you're interested in being on and you want to talk about a cause, an idea, a way you do things, please feel free. So far, we've had folks come on to talk about yoga, and they've talked about self-development. We've talked about tarot cards. We've talked about psychism. We've talked about personal development and evolution. We've talked about how you can come to being pagan without the normal track going on. You can come to being pagan at any age. We all have different paths. We all have different ways that we're getting where we're at. And it's these things that help us to become who we are. And it's really nice to learn what other people go through, because sometimes we're not really sure what we're going through. And we get a chance with our interviews to talk about things honestly and go, yeah, that was really crazy. I thought I was losing my mind. And those kind of things occasionally happen while you're working your way through things and you're shuffling off old emotions and old yous, and you're removing all the pieces of you that don't belong and aren't you, but they're ones that people have put on you. And when that goes on, it's transformative, and it's very shocking to our systems, because we are so used to being one thing that when we remove those things, we're so much lighter, we're so much freer, less constrained. Our bodies, our psyches, our mentalities, our emotions have to adjust to that. and absorb the new place that you are. And it's subjects like these that we've talked about on Pagan Voices. And all of our episodes are available on YouTube in a playlist, as well as on Facebook. I will warn you, we have really long conversations. So far, the shortest that we've aired is like 45 minutes, and the longest is an hour and 20. So we really get into some really interesting topics, and we go deep because we want to know. There's all kinds of things that we can share. People have all kinds of experiences that are unique, but also are common. So it's nice having that point of reference, that representation to be able to reflect on and see what you find that can help you. And like I said, we've had yoga, we've had life coaches, we've had a chief officer of happiness, who her main really emphasis in life is about gratitude and helping people to understand the power of gratitude in their lives, in their manifestations. And we've had, like I said, psychics, tarot readers. We're going to have more tarot readers. We're going to have some folks on that are various kind of creatives, with jewelry, people that make other types of items, and or do types of divination that aren't in the normal. Bone reading is one of the things that's coming up, which is really cool. I'm really excited about that. We've got information coming on upcoming festivals, like and events that are going on in, say, Indianapolis. We hope to be talking to some of the festival organizers up there. We hope to be talking to some of the organizers over at Lothlorien to find out the kind of stuff that's going on there. We've had quite a few folks on the show that are from Lothlorien and aren't representative, but they've attended and they're regular attendees, and they've volunteered and they've spent a lot of time there. And I've spent some time there, and it's an interesting place. And it's nice to have folks talk about these things and explain what it is. So let's see. We also have some gentlemen that own a winery that is heathen are going to be on the show, and we're going to talk about what they do and how they do it. And they've got some festivals and rituals going on that they want to talk about that are up in northeastern Ohio. And it's a good place and a good platform to share information and just let other folks know about what it is you're out there doing. Because if we don't let each other know, it's hard to know. And I realize that sounds really we're moving on. So, Pagan Voices, please, if you're interested, get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to you. We can either do it on a video call, or you can come out here to Faywood Grove and we can do it out in the woods or here in my office. I'm set up for interviews now, and we can just have a good afternoon and walk around the grounds, and I can show you around all the shrines that we have and all the stuff that's going on, especially because with spring coming, hey, that's what this episode's about. With spring coming, everything's turning green outside shortly. Well, there's going to be a delay, but that's because winter isn't going to actually end till like April. But we've been having that for a few years. So, but it's an opportunity to say what you got to say and maybe come out and have some fun or just have a nice conversation. And that's really what it's about. So let's see. The next thing I'd like to talk about is, we have a website, gotglive.com. I don't have the episodes posted on it, but we have some information about this show, and we'll also be posting the full biographies, the full bios and information on our shows on there, as well as there's a contact form on there that you can use to reach out if you want to be a guest on the show. We just talked about Pagan Voices. I'm going down the thing because I can't read it. I don't have my glasses on. Go figure. So the spring equinox is coming up, and the spring equinox is about balance. It's a symbol of you've got that moment where you can balance the egg, It's going to be March 20th. I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or close to that. I don't remember the exact time. I forgot to look at that a third time to make sure I remembered it. And hey, that's how that goes. But if you look at the uh, event as a whole, it's about balance. It's about the transition. It's about the greening. It's about the coming fertility. So as we move into it, we are moving towards a point of balance. We are coming from a point of darkness, heading towards a point of light. And as we intersect that at the spring equinox, some people celebrate it as Oestara. Some people just celebrate it as Florina, which is, I believe, Roman, but that's later in the year. And there's all different times and cultures that have celebrated spring, and it has all been about fertility. It has been about awakening. It has been about equilibrium and the balance of the transition from the dark into the light, from the cold into the warm. It's that point where the temperatures are kind of in between theoretically, and it's the sun is halfway to its peak. We have an equal day, equal night, and it's a time that is very verdant, which means green. If you don't know, I think it's kind of funny that the French word for green is green. Yeah. I'm sorry. I digress. Um, but it's about the earth coming alive from that point on. And there's all kinds of different ways that people celebrate the spring. They look at it as that time of balance and they use it as a point of intent to achieve balance. They also use it as a point of intent to start workings, to start fertilizing, to start planting, to start doing things that will bring other things through the year. Within the coven that I work with, we work on a harvest cycle. So we're coming out of our shadow. We're starting our planning and we're getting ready for planting. It's not quite time to plant yet. At least here in Indiana, we can't do that till about Mother's Day on a lot of stuff if we want the flowers to survive. But the spring starts the actual season where it starts to become possible. And it's that greening, it's that celebration, it's that embracing of the celebration of spring and bringing that into yourself, whether it be through the celebration of the balance or the initiation of the fertility of trying to start projects, plant gardens, flowers, all kinds of transitions can go on. And all of those things are things that have gone into making things manifest when you're trying to change, because change is about planting seeds and giving them fertilizer and weeding them, but knowing that the plant that comes up isn't always going to be exactly what you think it's going to be shaped like. It may be what you want, it may be that kind of plant, it just doesn't always have the exact same shape. So um but I think that I'm somehow speed talking, and I have somehow entered a time zone, and it is now 13 minutes, and it somehow felt like 30. Give me a second while I take a break. So, as for our group in the harvest cycle, the spring equinox is going to be about bringing in those things and starting the planting and the idea, organizing the seeds. We've started planting. We're kind of into the reassessment stage of starting to take a look at where we're going to go with it. But now we're headed into planning stage, because you need to plan before you work. Because if you throw seeds out random scattered, they're going to grow random scattered. If you put them in rows, they will do more what you want, and you can cultivate them in a more organized manner, and you can possibly produce a better yield by paying attention to how you plant your seeds instead of just tossing your seed upon an empty, sorry, wrong book. Um, but it's about fertility. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's about planting those seeds and making your life manifest. And so those are the main emphasis of the event. So most people call it Easter. It's named after Oestara from the Nordic, German, or the northern German area. And I'm probably screwing that up because that's not my area of devotion and study. So, um, but she was a goddess she of fertility and flowers and the spring. And so when it was time for the world to awaken, she was who they paid homage to. For the Celts, it was reed, and at least for the Gaels. And that goddess of fire, goddess of spring. Her actual high holiday is February 1st of Candlemas, Remas, but she is the goddess of spring and fire, which lend itself to its own problems within their mythology. And I'm not a scholar of that, and you should look it up. It's really good reading. There's some good videos on YouTube as well about it, but I'm not the expert. Um, Persephone is the Greek goddess of spring and fertility, flowers, and it was her kidnap that led to a drought on the planet, well, at least around Greece, because Demeter was really upset that her daughter was gone. And so she like punished everybody else because the Greek gods, a lot of them tend to punish everybody else for their problems. Yeah. But and then in exchange, when Persephone agreed to come back and deal with the nagging the mom, um, she agreed to spend 6 months. And so spring is the release of Persephone, and then fall is her return to the underworld to be with Hades. Here at Feywood Grove, we have a shrine that is Persephone and Hades, and then next to it, we have a shrine to Demeter because she doesn't like to be far from her daughter. But Persephone was the goddess of spring, and it was her return to the outside world from the underworld, from the shadow, that brought about life and flowers, where she was spring, but it was because her mom let things grow again. So, yeah. And then lastly, Flora is the Roman counterpart, and she also um it was a goddess of flowers and the season of spring, and she was a symbol of nature and flowers as well as a goddess of youth. And all of those tied together with the budding of spring, because the world around us all works to become fertile. It just becomes fertile. It doesn't actually work to become fertile, but you know what I mean. And the animals tend to mate more. The birds go a little crazy. Um, Rabbits, which are a continual symbol of spring and fertility throughout cultures, uh, spring is their main mating season, and they can actually be pregnant with 2 batches of babies at the same time during the spring. So there's a lot going on there with that and the reflectiveness of the symbology. Um, so that's pretty much all I have on that. um, Sorry. Like I said, I'm navigating a brand new system. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I just saw that. Yay. Good to see you, Jasmine. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Um, but it's fertility, it's new beginnings, and it's initiation of yourself into action is what spring is about. And with the passing of Saturn into Pisces And I am not an astrologer. There's much better qualified people to watch to explain that kind of thing and what the ramifications of that are. But basically, it's an opportunity for us to get rid of some old traditions and to kind of move into a better, better organized path, because Saturn is about organization and structure, and Pisces is about fuck that. I mean, chaos. And so as it moves in, they're going to kind of blend together and turn it all upside down and give us all opportunities to kind of move past some of that old crap we're dragging along into a better mindset and into a better frame of time where the planets are much more aligned in the direction that we need to go for change and to solidify things. It's a time of rejecting traditions and breaking those bonds. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing where we go with the transitions that are going on. Um, that was pretty much everything I had for tonight. Um, we've covered pagan voices. If you'd like to be on the show, if you're tuned in late, what Pagan Voices is it's a show where we interview normal pagans about what they do and how they do. People that have things to promote, stores and shops. This summer, I hope to be able to go out and visit various stores and kind of do little tours with the store owners and show off what they've got going on, talk about how long they've been around, what they're trying to do, if they've got classes going on to help promote, because I'm trying to offer a platform for people to share information and to learn about other people um, without having to pay Facebook to advertise. Because it's a good thing to see what other people are doing. And not everybody can pay for advertising. So I'd like to go visit some stores. I'd like to visit some festivals and live stream from there and do recordings from there and talk about what's going on at that event. I'd like to go live while there's some drumming going on so we can pick that up. There's a lot of really cool stuff for people to experience throughout the pagan world that we don't always get to do because we're trapped and we don't have money a lot of the times. Things cost money. And when you don't have it, you spend your money on other things. Money's getting tighter. So this is an opportunity to show people what it is they could do if they actually took the chance and spent the money on that, because you don't know until you try. And if you don't know what's going to happen, you're not very likely to spend your money. When for a low rate, you can have a lot of fun. You can meet a lot of people. You can expand your horizons and you can learn about yourself. And ultimately, that's what we're all trying to do, is learn about ourselves. So that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you very much for watching Grove of the Gods. Spring is coming. It's been a treat going live. I'm going to be doing these occasionally. And I want to just say thank you for watching. I am very grateful for you. And please drop a comment if you're watching later. Thank you very much, Jasmine, for saying hello. Hi, Aubrey. Thank you very much. Please make sure to watch Jasmine's channel. She's got all kinds of really cool stuff on her channel. She does a lot of really interesting interviews and or workings, explanations, all kinds of interesting stuff. So please check her out. And hold on, I got to do the old man thing because I don't have my glasses on so I can see. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you. I don't understand most of my brain doesn't see it. Sorry. But thank you very much for watching. We've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to show. We've got a lot to share. I look forward to doing it. Thank you for watching, tuning in, and I hope you reach out and become a part. We'd love to work with you. Thank you very much for watching. May the Lord and Lady be ever in your hearts. Praise be to Pan and peace. Blessed be. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I got to do the old man interview thing where I search for the mouse and then to end the transmission. Have a great day. Enjoy.